Hello, this is Maciek, the Diligent Linguist. Welcome to my next video. Today I want to present to you my top 10 list of the songs I use most frequently while I'm teaching Polish as a foreign language. Now, my selection is highly subjective, and to be honest, I like some of these songs. In fact, I like most of them. However, I wanted to focus on the ones that have the greatest potential for explaining language points, presenting certain vocabulary items, or perhaps a certain grammatical point. And overall, I wanted to select the songs that are applicable across multiple levels of proficiency. So while selecting the songs, I wanted to make sure I can use them with A1 level Polish language learners, meaning beginners, as well as the pre-intermediate students, and perhaps B1 level intermediate students preparing for the state exam in Polish as a foreign language. Alright, without further ado, let's get to it. Alright, let's start with number 10. Beginners often lack confidence. The entire language learning experience is pretty much ahead of them. Everything seems new, and their communicative skills are close to zero. Some people feel overwhelmed when they notice the new pronunciation rules. They notice the complex consonant clusters. They realize that suddenly the letter Y is produced in speech as a vowel. So after 2 or 3 classes, I'm telling them that today I'm going to play you a song, and you're going to understand it completely. You're going to understand every single word. What is the song? It's called Da Da Da, and it's performed by Formacja, Nieżywych, Schabuff. The song is not an entirely original creation. It's a cover of a very similar German song. Da 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 enjoyed massive popularity in Poland back in the late 1990s. Some people might say that the song is silly. Perhaps it's true. But the fact is, it's a very nice confidence booster. It is quite enjoyable. And it introduces a very important verb, kochać, to love. By the way, kochać follows the same conjugation patterns as the verbs that are first taught to the majority of beginners, such as czytać, mieszkać, or even mieć. It's the same group. So, besides, the song features 2 examples of personal pronouns and the simplest form of negation in Polish, using the word nie. So personally, I find it very useful with A1 or actually A0 level learners. Alright, number 9. The verb chcieć, meaning to want, is introduced during lesson 5 out of 20 in my favorite course book for beginners, so we could say that learners of Polish become familiar with it after completing about 25 to 30% of the A1 level material. However, the word chcieć receives very little attention later on in the book. Well, I can understand it. It's not the most suitable or the most polite word to be used in contexts such as shopping, buying clothes, ordering food, and other topics requiring a certain level of politeness. However, it's still a very, very important word. For example, while discussing your future plans in Polish. So what do? I use the word Nogi, meaning legs, by a band that is humorously called Czarno-Czarni, meaning the black and black ones, the black and black guys. The song features 11 or 12 different examples of how we can use the verb chcieć. The song is amusing, it's very straightforward, it's fun, and personally I use it as a relaxing break after revising all the different conjugation patterns in the present tense. You can see that that lesson 5 features a lot of a giant conjugation table followed by 1 or 2 pages of grammatical exercises. So I use the song Nogi as a form to help my students relax after revising everything they have learned so far about the present tense in the Polish language. Okay, number 8. The song Będę robić nic, I will be doing nothing by Kasia Klich. The word nic, meaning nothing, is usually introduced when students learn to speak about their daily activities and things they do habitually. For example, the name of lesson 7 in this course book is Zwykle nic nie robię. I usually do nothing. However, this song is not only about the word nic, and it's certainly not about expressing habitual activities in the present tense. Instead, the majority of the lyrics are essentially a collection of perfective past forms. Perfective meaning that they express completed actions in the past. All of them are in the first person, in the singular number, and exclusively in the feminine grammatical gender. So basically the singer is telling us what or how many activities, how many things she has managed to accomplish until she got totally exhausted. Learning the past verb forms in Polish may be discouraging because the learners need to make a choice between the feminine and the masculine form of the verb. So if a male student has finished doing an exercise, he will say, "Hey, skończyłem," I have finished, while a girl will say skończyłam, also meaning I have finished. So that's why one of the most obvious exercises based on this song is to try to convert it into the masculine gender, imagining that the singer is a man instead of a woman. The choice of verbs presented in the lyrics is also interesting, as all of them symbolize common activities done at home, related to cleaning or cooking. Number 7. My number 7 is the song Dres by the rock band Big Tit. The guys from Big Tit have always been famous for the satirical tone of their songs. They are really good observers of the social, cultural and political trends. They can easily capture the absurdities found in the Polish reality and package them as humorous songs with pretty amusing lyrics. Why did I choose Dres, the song that seems to glorify the tracksuit, and a song that tries to ridicule and make fun of the groups of hooligans associated with this sort of dress code? Well, as far as the language goes, the lyrics are very simple, they're funny, and most of the song is written in the present tense. Just think about the main line. Dres, mam dres. As simple as that. And in the chorus we hear ja noszę dres, dres spoko jest. Speaking of spoko, the song is written using informal language, but not a kind of slang. It is the kind of discourse, a kind of language that can be heard outside, in the streets, in the supermarket, spoken among friends and at the shops. There are words like spoko, laska, which is an informal term for a girl, very often an attractive girl. The word kumple, meaning homies, buddies. Latać, used instead of biegać. The word order may not always follow strict rules found in language course books, but most of the lines are quite short, between 3 and 6 words. So it will be really reassuring for beginner learners to notice that they can understand the song and that they can recognize a lot of the vocabulary, such as the different words used to indicate family members. For me, this song is an excellent way to help my students relax and have a bit of fun after completing lesson number 9 about fashion and different articles of clothing. Oh, and the song mentions the word delikatesy, which is absent while talking about the different types of shops in Poland. Number 6 can easily get stuck in the learners' minds. Trust me. It's the song Jak się masz, kochanie by Happy End. There are actually several cover versions available, although personally I prefer to use the original track from 1977. The song is an upbeat disco kind of track about a man trying to write a letter to his beloved. He's writing by day, he's writing by night, and finds it difficult to finish the letter. The chorus of the song represents what he would probably say if he were to talk to the girl over the phone. Jak się masz? How are you? Kiedy znowu cię zobaczę? When will I see you again? Now, I play this song for my beginner groups. Why? First, I want to make sure that they memorize the expression jak się masz without any problems at the very beginning of their adventure with Polish. Secondly, the song features several verbs that are part and parcel of the classroom talk. The verb pisać, to write, as the man is writing a letter. Powiedzieć, to tell. Czytać, to read. Actually, the song features the verb form wyczytać, to read and interpret something. But still, the base form is czytać. Then there is also the verb zobaczyć, to see or to catch sight of something. When I want to draw my students' attention to a picture, to a given word, or to a particular rule, I will often say zobaczcie, have a look. There is also the adverb cicho, which technically means silently, but it is often used to calm students down, to request them to be quiet during a particular activity. Writing a letter might be a different task compared to the kinds of writing that can be done in the language classroom, but still, the choice of vocabulary is somewhat similar. And if you want your A0 level learners, the total beginners, If you want them to remember the expression jak się masz after the first class, just play this song to them. Five. This one is great and it's really funny. The song Poszukaj męża. Search for a husband. Find a husband by Czesław Śpiewa. I don't know about other teachers' experience, but I often notice that beginner students have problems accepting the fact that there are dedicated nouns to refer to people, men and women, representing different nationalities. For example, the word Polak means a Polish man, whereas Polka means a Polish woman. On a lot of occasions I am asked, hey, can't we just say on jest polski, he is Polish, or ona jest polska, she is Polish? Well, we can't. Not like this, not exactly. Well, the song by Czesław Mozyl mentions men representing 11 different nationalities, and in a very humorous manner, the singer is trying to suggest that none of them would make a great husband. I may be wrong, but to me the song is a joke, a satire on girls who are very picky when it comes to finding a good husband. Especially girls who classify men according to national stereotypes, according to opinions found online, and basically girls who classify men according to general statistics, such as the level of income in a particular country. What is more, the song is full of third-person singular number forms in the present tense, so I believe it's pretty beginner-friendly. We have come to number 4. Number 4 is Niedziela, będzie dla nas by Niebiesko-Czarni, the blue and black ones. A lot of my students like this one, and to me personally it's the best song to learn the Polish days of the week. There are all of them in the song, and not just once. You can hear them twice, because they appear in both parts of the song. And I would like to thank the person from one of the Facebook groups who suggested the song to me. I have been using it with my beginner groups ever since. The song is a simple story about two people who can't meet during the week. They can't even meet on Saturday because they're simply so busy. So their only option is to meet on Sunday. The lyrics mention all different sorts of activities, different kinds of routines for each day, doing the laundry, having meetings, helping parents, and so on. Things we can associate with our everyday life. What makes this 1960s song so learner-friendly is that the second stanza, the second part of the song, is basically a modified version of the first one. We hear the same set of activities, but this time it's the other person doing these activities. So, for example, in the first part of the song, the man, the singer, is doing the laundry on Monday, while in the following week it is the girl who is busy doing the laundry. And it is really fun. It is really fun to use this song in the language classroom. And it's also easy for the students to comprehend because, for example, when I'm following my course book, all the verbs indicating daily routines are introduced shortly before I explain the days of the week in Polish. So it's my perfect solution for this topic. We have reached the top 3, and I believe this set of songs, this ranking, would be incomplete if I didn't mention the group or the project called Fasolki, the little beans. I listened to their songs when I was a kid, and I learned their songs, I memorized them, also at school, and now my own daughter is enjoying them as well. So, if you have an opportunity, search for Fasolki and listen to the songs by Fasolki, and you will not be disappointed. The language is simple, but practical and correct, grammatically and semantically. The melodies are easy to follow, and you might catch yourself singing these songs or hearing them in your head at random times. I have selected the song Ogórek, the cucumber, because it's one of their most famous recordings. The text is short. You can hear 5 nouns relating to vegetables, and some vocabulary used to describe the weather. And I believe there is at least one name of the season. A similar pattern can be found in other songs by Fasolki, and there are several dozens of these songs. That is why I have placed the song Ogórek and Fasolki as a project at number 3. And I should also mention another project that I remember from my childhood, a very similar one called Radiowe Nutki. It is similar and might be worth your attention. My favorite song by Radiowe Nutki is about the simplest cake in the world, najłatwiejsze ciasto w świecie. But there are, I believe, around 30 songs in total for you to check out. For example, I enjoy singing and playing the song Zuzia, lalka nieduża. It's a song about a little doll called Zuzia. I enjoy it because my daughter loves it, and it's very easy to play along on the piano or on the guitar. In the context of teaching young learners, there is simply nothing better. But I'm sure adult students might enjoy it as well. And as I said, you can learn the chords and play along to make the experience more enjoyable. If you're struggling with the Polish locative case, miejscownik, or if you're trying to master the Polish preposition w, there is simply nothing better than the song W kinie w Lublinie by Brathanki. This song, inspired by folk tunes, contains more than 30 different phrases, different combinations of words expressing locations in the locative case. Actually, it may be even more. It's just that I stopped counting examples after reaching the number of 30. What is more, while some of these phrases are used for rhythmical effect, or simply to make 2 or more lines rhyme, a lot of them are based on everyday language. O świcie, at dawn, o zmroku, at sunset, w południe, at noon, w nocy, at night, w kinie, in the cinema, w radości, in happiness, w smutku, in sadness, w pokoju, in peace. Interestingly, only some of them refer to actual physical or geographical locations. The rest of them are so-called conceptual metaphors. Have you noticed, for example, that we often speak about time as if it was a physical location? It is part of a much larger phenomenon. Let's just say that the human mind prefers concrete images rather than abstract notions. Look at the way the song presents different moods and emotions as locations. W radości, in happiness, w smutku, w spokoju. There is a lot of potential in this song. I play it for A1 level students as well for the pre-intermediate and intermediate ones, even while preparing people for the state examination in Polish as a foreign language. Before telling you my number one, I'd like to make 3 honorable mentions. Songs that I like a lot and that I often use in the language classroom. The first of them would be Kocham się by Pudelsi. Maciej Maleńczuk, the leader of the group, is a very colorful and intriguing person. Controversial as well. His texts can be simple, funny, witty, and certainly he has a unique sense of humor. His song Kocham się, I Love Myself, is, well, it's a love song dedicated to oneself. It is interesting, it is amusing, it is narcissistic to a certain extent, but it's really worth listening to. Imagine trying to rewrite the lyrics to try and actually convert it into a more usual, into a more ordinary love song by substituting all the occurrences of się into the proper second person pronouns. Oh, and remember that the word się is one of the top 10 most frequent Polish words. Next there is the song Koniec, The End, by Elektryczne Gitary. To już jest koniec, nie ma już nic, jesteśmy wolni, możemy iść. 1, 2, 3, 4 sentences using 4 words, 2 words and 2 words. And so simple. And it sounds like a perfect thing to say at the end of a boring grammar lesson. Simple sentences, clear meaning. A lot of the song is made of chunks rather than full sentences. So it's possible to work with small language units, although I suggest preparing dedicated drawings, some simple pictures to help the learners follow the lyrics. Because the lyrics present something that seems like a series of disconnected items. Finally, last but not least, the song Gdyby by Paktofonika. If this was a list of songs that I use with A2 or B1 level learners, this one would go into my top 3. It has the greatest choice of examples with tryb przypuszczający, a kind of conditional structure used to speak about occurrences and events that are unlikely to happen. So things like if I were you, if I had a lot of money, if something happened, something that is not likely to happen. The song also uses the prepositional expression na niby, not for real, which is a very common Polish phrase, used particularly by children while playing games or imagining things. Okay, so now it's time to reveal my number one. And finally, my number one. Can you find a song that will teach you to conjugate the verb mieć, to have, in such a way that you will keep singing it to yourself? A song that will show you the question kim, associated with the instrumental case, narzędnik. At the same time, the same song can be used to demonstrate how to use the verb być, to be. The same song can be helpful to explain the differences between the two verbs znać, to know something or somebody, and wiedzieć, to know that. Because, you know, in English, they both are translated as to know. How about the basic questions co or gdzie? What about the verbs pamiętać, czytać, and znaczyć, used frequently in the language classroom? Well, you can find this and much more in the song Nieodwracalne zmiany, Irreversible Changes by an old-school hip-hop band, Kaliber 44. Even if you don't enjoy hip-hop music, you should not skip this one. It's crazy how the song contains elements from at least 10 out of 20 units from my favorite A1 level Polish language course book. The secret might be that after a long break, the band decided to release a single whose lyrics were actually a blend of at least 13 of their earlier tracks. So in linguistics and in literature, we use the term intertextuality to describe a situation when one text refers to another one or somehow alludes to it. The song is attractive to A1 level learners because they can easily understand the entire chorus. Ja mam, ty masz, on ma, ona ma, ono ma, wy macie, my mamy. So it's also true that a lot of A1 level learners can understand some other parts of the song as well. B1 level students, intermediate students, should be able to understand the majority of the text. I'd go as far as to say that I would happily use this song as a way to test a more advanced student, to test that person's awareness of various topics related to both grammar and vocabulary. Why not? The song as a whole may be difficult to understand and interpret, but the individual parts of the blend are not very complicated. Thank you for watching this video. Actually, I started recording it yesterday in the afternoon, and now it's basically the next morning, because I had to stop filming on several occasions, and twice I even forgot to plug my microphone and I had to re-record certain parts. So I apologize if some part seemed a bit messy. I've been working without a script, using just the list of the songs and the lyrics. But still, I hope I have managed to inspire some of you to listen to the songs I have presented. If you find other songs useful in your experience as teachers or learners of Polish as a foreign language, please leave a comment below. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you're not already a subscriber, and have a great day. Oh, and remember, never stop learning languages. Bye bye.